All right. Um, All right, let's just settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture. Just have both feet flat on the floor, about a hip's width apart. And align your shoulders with your hips, your ears with your shoulders, and imagine your spine is this beautiful string of pearls of light that stretch from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. And imagine you're lengthening your spine. You're just putting some space in between the vertebrae. And feel the weight of your hands in your lap, the weight of your pelvis and your sits bones in the chair. Maybe your feet, whether they're underneath your legs or on the ground. If they're on the ground, have them in a parallel position. Try not to like cross your ankles or knees or whatever. And then go to the crown of the head and just release any tension there, relaxing the scalp and the forehead and the eyes, the back of the eyes, the nose and the cheeks, the area around the mouth, the back of the tongue, and the jaw and the back of the head. And put some length in the neck and allow your shoulders and shoulder blades to drop down. And relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all of your limbs. Just bring some awareness to your breath, noticing the sensations of the air as you inhale and exhale. Around the nostrils, around the chest cavity, maybe the belly. And then be aware of any sound, potential distractions, notifications. Just allow it all to be there. Just trying not to follow with the mind. And then just check in with yourself this evening or today, wherever you are in the world. Just see what's going on in that beautiful, messy mind. And then maybe just put some space in between your thoughts. We just allow everything to kind of run into each other. All our thoughts, all our worries, all our plans. Just try and slow it all down. You can't stop it. We can maybe have a little bit of control over what goes on in there. The first step is to try not to judge, and maybe also try not to get wrapped up in the emotion of the story. And then get kind of led off somewhere. And then bring to mind all the people of your life, your loved ones, your strangers, the ones you don't like terribly much. Remembering they're interchangeable, these relationships. It is possible that the friend you have today is not going to be the friend of tomorrow. The enemy of today is going to be the friend of tomorrow. The stranger could be either friend or maybe one you don't like. Regardless of where everybody's at any particular time and who's feeling what about whom, everyone's just equal. Everyone in just these three different ways. They want to be happy, they don't want to suffer, and they all have an extraordinary capacity for a beautiful Buddha mind. So we think we'll do this practice this evening for all these people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. So we think there is no negativity that can't be purified, and this purification process is basically a psychological one. Excuse me, we create negativity with our mind, so equally we can change it by creating positivity instead. And we start with this power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. And we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. So having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. So we don't want to experience any more suffering. We already know what suffering is. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering. So we think, I regret from the depths of my heart, having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering, I'm sick of suffering, and also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others, and then think, I'm sick of this suffering, and then think, well, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. So we rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor, who has these methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we need Buddha to forgive us, we're purifying ourselves by relying upon his medicine. So you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of this beautiful, radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He has a beautiful, radiant face, and his eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black, and it's held up in a top knot. And his arms are crossed at his heart, and the left is underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion, and their being crossed represents the union of these two, and this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we've harmed, and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you and have compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you is going to result in suffering for them sometime in the future. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for all these beings and think, I must purify for their sake. And now we've come to the power of remedy, and this is the medicine, doing the practice of purification. And we use visualization and we use mantra. So imagine the body now. Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely, and it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid, and this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorekta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame, sitam triyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe. Bhadrasapha samayam anupalaya bhadrasapha dina patita, jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Bhadrasapha samayam anupalaya bhadrasapha dina patita. Jida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anorakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame. Sitam triyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Bhadrasapha samayam anupalaya bhadrasapha dina patita. Jida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anorakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Bhadrasapha samayam anupalaya bhadrasapha dina patita. Jida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anorekta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Bhadrasapha samayam anupalaya bhadrasapha dina patita. Jida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anorekta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Bhadrasapha samayam anupalaya bhadrasapha dina patita. Jida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anorekta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of our speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you can imagine all the gossip, all the harsh speech, all the useless speech, and lying and talking about people behind their backs. And then you kind of get other people to agree with you about it, all our inappropriate speech. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra again. Vajrasattva samayam anupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Jida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anorakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samayam anupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Jida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anorakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Jida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anorakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Jida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anorakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Bhadrasapha samayam manupalaya Bhadrasapha dinapatita. Dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawasidi mibiyata sawa kamasitame. Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Bhadrasapha Samayam Manupalaya Bhadrasapha Dina Patita. Dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kamasita me. Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Bhadrasapha Samayam Manupalaya Bhadrasapha Dina Patita. Jida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kamasita me. Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified. And imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. And next is the purification of our mind. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra. And this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it happens as instantaneously as flicking on a switch in a dark room. The light coming instantly dispels all the darkness of the negativity of your mind. So all your attachment and grasping and neediness and bitterness and grudges and anger and depression and resentment, jealousy, all of this is instantly dispelled, not one atom left. Bhadrasapha samayam manupalaya Bhadrasapha dinapatita. Jida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kamasitame. Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Bhadrasapha samayam manupalaya Bhadrasapha dinapatita. Dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kamasita me. Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Bhadrasapha samayam manupalaya Bhadrasapha dinapatita. Dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kamasita me. Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Bhadrasapha samayam manupalaya Bhadrasapha dinapatita. Dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kamasita me. Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Bhadrasapha samayam manupalaya Bhadrasapha dinapatita. Dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kamasita me. Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Bhadrasapha samayam manupalaya Bhadrasapha dinapatita. Dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kamasita me. Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Bhadrasapha samayam manupalaya Bhadrasapha dinapatita. Dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kamasita me. Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So give me delight in all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. And now think, there's no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And then there's the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. We're purifying those now. So you imagine Vajrasattva sends light and nectar. So the nectar flows down, pushing out all the negativity of the body, and then the nectar flows up, again, pushing out all the negativity of the speech. And then the light comes and completely blasts all the delusions. So in this way, we're eradicating even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your consciousness. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mebi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitam Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mebi yata sawa kama sitam me, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe, vajrasattva samayam manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, dida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anarakta meboa sawasidi mempi yatsa sawa kama sitam me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mempi yatsa sawa kama sitam me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawasidi mempi yatsa sawa kama sitam me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dina meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasidi mempi yatsa sawa kama sitam me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mebi yatsa sawa kama sitam me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. So now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to the power of resolve. And this is the fourth and final step in the purification process. And it's really crucial. And this is this determination to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. So without this, we're just going to keep doing the same old things over and over again, follow the same old habit, energy patterns. So this determination, this aspiration to refrain from harming becomes like a beacon that guides our body and our speech and our mind in new directions. And it may not happen overnight. It might just be something that takes years, but you're still planning on moving in that direction. You're not unconsciously going about your habits. You're becoming a little bit more conscious. And even though you may not be able to break that habit right away, you're aware of it and you're working on it and you're working with it. And that's a really, really good start. So imagine Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wants to merge with your mind and melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And you think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So now Rinpoche would recommend to meditate a little bit on emptiness. So we think, in emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So however, whatever you understand about emptiness, place your mind there for a little moment. And we can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. You can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this practice to all living beings and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. Right, let's do chanting the names of Manjushri. Whoop. Okay. Traversing all three worlds in just one stride, his step extending past the bounds of space, with knowledge of the three, well-versed and pure, with sixfold higher knowledge and recall. The Bodhisattva and Mahasattva, with power great, transcending worldly life, perfected by his excellence of insight, now unified with insight's highest nature. The whole, aware of self, aware of other, for fit for all, he is the best of men, surpassing all to which he is compared, supreme most Lord, knowing and what's known. All right, everyone. Let's have a strong wish for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long and for the swift return of our precious Lama Zopa Rinpoche and for all of your own individual teachers to live long. All right, everyone. I saw a couple of messages. Just all right. Take care. Lots of love. I'll see some of you tomorrow morning. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Shayla.